Commander Glaz had never considered himself a master strategist. His gooey, translucent body flickered shades of turquoise as he floated before the Orlaris High Council, brimming with a giddiness he could barely contain. This time he just knew he had found the foolproof plan to conquer Earth without launching a single laser beam. Esteemed council members, Glaz began, voice unit warbling in excitement, I present to you Operation Java Takeover. The enormous amphitheater bustled with tension. Representing 15 star systems, the Orlaris High Council loomed in their seats, creatures of every shape, color, and appendage, from the feathery Avex High Minister Yarlo to the rock-skinned granite overlord Krask. Most had witnessed Glaz's prior, less than impressive attempts at domination, notably that fiasco with mind-reading monkeys, so skepticism abounded. Still, Glaz's loyal assistant, Lieutenant Piz, a petite, donut-shaped alien with beady eyes, stepped up to advance the holographic slides. The display lit up, showing images of earthling coffee shops, bustling morning commuter lines, and travelers cradling steaming paper cups like sacred chalices. A soft murmur rippled across the council. Some members glowed in curiosity, others just looked bored. Hear me out, Glaz insisted, tentacles forming enthusiastic gestures. Humans revere this black liquid they call coffee. It's practically a religious experience for them. They can't function without it. His body jiggled with triumph as he delivered the key insight. If we lace their global coffee supply with our most advanced neurohijack serum, they'll dose themselves every single day, often multiple times a day. Within mere weeks, their entire species will be ours to command. Several tentacles rose in question, a few antennae twitched in mild approval. High Minister Yarlo cleared his throat, or the avian equivalent thereof. Commander Glaz, he rasped, your plan sounds ... unorthodox. You suggest contaminating a beverage that humans consume daily. Are you certain it will go undetected? Lieutenant Piz chimed in, holding up a data tablet half his size. We've run preliminary scans, High Minister. Humans take their coffee with everything: milk, sugar, syrups, whipped cream, even cheese in some regions. Our serum, bound to coffee's natural oils, should be completely indistinguishable from their everyday brew. Whispers grew louder among the council members. Overlord Krask, a mountain of vibrating mineral plating, rumbled in doubt. How soon can we implement this ... Operation Java Takeover? Glaz's eyes shimmered. Our infiltration teams are already en route, disguised as baristas, coffee farm hands, even CEOs of some Earth coffee chains. We can begin contamination immediately. A hush fell across the chamber. With finality, High Minister Yarlo clicked his luminous feathers in a gesture of approval. Very well, Commander. You may proceed. But remember, if you fail this time... I won't fail, Glaz interrupted, practically glowing neon blue with confidence. Humans stand no chance against the mind-shattering power of caffeine plus serum. In a wave of applause, albeit a cautious one, Operation Java Takeover was officially greenlit. The infiltration mothership hovered in geosynchronous orbit above Earth's coffee belt. Inside the bridge, Commander Glaz oversaw final preparations. Beyond the windows glistened swirling blue oceans and curving continents. Lieutenant Piz stood at a massive console, toggling screens that showed Earth's top coffee-producing nations: Brazil, Colombia, Ethiopia, Vietnam... plus endless cafes in places like Seattle, Istanbul, Melbourne. Teams in position, Piz reported, swallowing anxiously. All disguised as coffee aficionados or corporate interns. A bulky, scaly alien lumbered up next to them, grunting in annoyance. Sergeant Gak, Chief of Ground Operations, was built like a dinosaur and about as subtle. We should just bomb the planet, Gak muttered. All these beam-based infiltration plans, they never work. Glaz ignored the sergeant's cynicism, focusing on a final high-level briefing. We begin by targeting those countries that produce the largest shares of Earth's coffee beans, Then we'll move to distribution hubs. Once we've contaminated enough beans, Earth's population will practically guzzle our neuroserum at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The entire command deck erupted in gleeful applause. Glaz allowed himself a moment of smug satisfaction. Agent Triffa, masquerading as a Brazilian agronomist, stood in a luscious green field of coffee plants, wearing a borrowed straw hat 2 sizes too small. She fiddled with a drone sprayer loaded with the infiltration serum. The plan was simple: spritz the coffee berries, let them absorb the serum, then watch as the mind control compound traveled through the supply chain straight to humans' mugs. Nearby, real farm workers bustled about, gleaning ripe cherries and chatting in Portuguese. Triffa tried to blend in, nodding politely whenever someone greeted her. The real trouble started when a curious co-worker asked her to explain the new fertilizer blend. Yes, Triffa squeaked, voice cracking. It's ... a special formula to improve bean quality. We call it Java Jolt Ultra. The worker gave her a funny look, but shrugged and moved on. Relieved, Triffa engaged the drone. Its nozzles hissed, spraying the invisible serum in a fine mist across the rows. A sly smile curled across her slimy lips. That's it, she whispered to herself. Soon, Earth's unstoppable coffee fixation will be our unstoppable route to conquest. Agent Plan fidgeted behind a polished executive desk. His alien shape was hidden by an impeccably tailored suit and a pair of thick-framed glasses. As newly minted Director of Global Coffee Innovations, Plan had the authority to tweak bean sourcing, roastery processes, anything that would help slip the mind control compound into the world's largest coffee brand. He stared at the employee mission statement plaque on the wall, trying to mimic an expression of corporate enthusiasm. All right, he muttered, practicing his best human business voice. Let's talk synergy. Let's circle back. Let's, leverage new resources too. Oh, cosmic dust, how do these earthlings do this all day? A cheerful vice president walked in with a tray of freshly brewed coffee. Mr. Plan, we have the Q3 results. Sales are up, but the board wants new flavors. You mentioned something about a secret formula to enhance taste. Plan resisted the urge to sprout an extra tentacle. Yes, we'll be rolling out the cerebral roast next quarter. Let's just say it will blow people's minds. He let out a laugh that was slightly too long, causing the VP to eye him suspiciously. Undeterred, Plan pressed forward, mentally rejoicing at how easy it was to embed the serum into every global shipment of Earth bean coffee. Agent Dral, disguised as a mild-mannered barista named Demir, attempted to froth milk for a latte. Human customers filed in, half asleep, desperate for their morning fix. Dral's plan was to drizzle the mind control serum into every espresso shot. Simple, right? Merhaba. 1 cappuccino, please, said a bleary-eyed patron. Dral nodded, fumbling with the espresso machine. He found the hidden serum nozzle taped under the counter only to realize it had jammed. Panicking, he tried to fix it while also steaming milk, which promptly overflowed. Everything okay? Demir asked a co-worker, concerned by the milk tsunami flooding the countertop. Yes, Dral lied, tentacle trembling under the apron. Just having a rough morning. Hey humans, am I right? I mean these machines, am I right? He managed to squirt half the serum into the cup. The unsuspecting customer took a sip, yawned, and walked out. Dral smiled to himself, convinced the plan was foolproof. While most infiltration teams operated in plain sight, the aliens' main base was cunningly disguised as an unremarkable coffee shop in Bogota that never seemed to close. One had to pass through the stockroom to find the secret elevator leading to the sprawling underground command center. Inside, Lieutenant Piz monitored a giant holographic globe with blinking coffee icons marking newly contaminated sites. He stuffed a handful of Galactic crunchies into his mouth, stress eating as usual. Commander Piz called. Coffee contamination is now at 58% globally. We project 80% by next week, once the shipments from the major roasteries hit supermarkets. Gloss hovered in, distinctly proud. Excellent. Soon the entire planet will be guzzling our serum daily. At last my brilliance will. Suddenly, an urgent beep resounded from the communications console. Incoming report from Agent Zolpiz said, scanning the tablet. He's stationed in Tokyo. And he says, the humans are showing no signs of mind-controlled obedience. Glaz's slime pulsed with annoyance. Impossible. They're probably just not drinking enough. Double the contamination levels, especially for that area. Piz gave a cautious nod, adding a private note on his to-do list. Request additional testing on human caffeine biology. Agent Zol lurked in the back of a bustling cafe in Shibuya. Dozens of customers queued up for macchiatos, iced lattes, and strange seasonal coffee jelly concoctions. Each cup had a double dose of the alien serum. Yet the humans remained, annoyingly human, busy with their phones, gossiping about pop idols, or rushing to catch trains. How Zol grumbled under his breath, tapping his communicator. They're drinking insane amounts of serum-laced coffee. Shouldn't they be chanting "Long live Commander Gloss" by now? One group of students laughed hysterically at memes on their devices, slurping their caffeinated beverages like it was nothing. Another salaryman polished off his third espresso, gave a satisfied sigh, and hustled back to work. Zol concluded his report with a sense of dread. Commander, humans show absolutely no sign of compliance. In fact, they seem more wired than ever, but they're focusing that energy on finishing deadlines, pulling all-nighters, or spontaneously deciding to run marathons. Commander Gloss convened his top officers in a briefing room lined with coffee bean sacks. The mood was tense. Explain this, Piz Gloss demanded. Why aren't Earthlings succumbing? Piz's donut-shaped body wobbled nervously. Well, preliminary findings suggest that humans metabolize caffeine in bizarre ways. Their brains become hyper-alert. Yes, but the serum gets broken down right along with the caffeine. They're just unaffected. Sergeant Gak threw up his scaled arms in frustration. So they're doping themselves with your mind-control drug, but it's no stronger to them than a regular coffee buzz. Piz winced. Pretty much, sir. Some are more jittery than normal, but that's about it. A hush fell over the room. Glaz's bright turquoise color shifted toward a frustrated amber. Then we have no choice, he said through clenched mouth flaps. Increase the dosage. Triple it, if necessary. Sir Piz began. We've tried that. In Italy, we quintupled the serum. Locals still shrug it off. Some even claim the coffee tastes better. Glaz let out a strangled gurgle of exasperation. This can't be happening. We've conquered entire solar systems with half this compound. News reports worldwide began featuring stories about a peculiar phenomenon. In Colombia, coffee tasters praised a newfound complex aroma they couldn't quite identify. In Seattle, lines around coffee shops got even longer. Consumers raved about the extra kick. In Italy, baristas entered a cappuccino art competition showcasing foam designs so exquisite they practically glowed. In Japan, vending machines introduced hyperbrew, an ultra-caffeinated, neon-colored beverage that sold out within hours. Some conspiracy theorists on social media claimed the coffee tasted alien, but nobody took them seriously. Most folks just enjoyed their supercharged Java without question. Enter Ambassador Jade Morales, Earth's roving diplomat known for her nimble approach to crisis and for having survived entire nights on quadruple espressos. Summoned to a top-secret meeting in Geneva, she found scientists and government reps abuzz with confusion. A tall researcher, Dr. Viviana Chang, approached Jade with a stack of lab data. Ambassador, there's a suspicious compound in coffee samples from around the globe, something never documented before. Is it dangerous? Jade asked, sipping her own coffee with concern. Well, that's the weird part, Dr. Chang replied. It appears psychoactive, but so far we see no adverse effects. If anything, it enhances flavor and extends the caffeine buzz. Jade frowned, flipping through the charts. So we're all being drugged. But nobody's complaining because it tastes amazing. Dr. Chang shrugged. Exactly. We suspect an extraterrestrial origin, especially given rumors of suspicious new baristas and coffee chain executives who can't keep their number of limbs consistent. Jade set down her mug. We need to confront whoever's behind this. But how do we get them to reveal themselves? A global broadcast went out from Geneva. Ambassador Morales addressed the planet and anyone else who might be listening. This is Ambassador Jade Morales, speaking on behalf of all Earth nations. We know someone has tampered with our coffee supply. Whoever you are, we request an immediate dialogue. Any aggression will be met with. Well, we have alternatives. The alternatives she hinted at. Earth's other potent beverages, from nuclear-grade energy drinks to homemade liquors. After all, if coffee wasn't controlling humans, who's to say the next alien attempt would fare any better? In a confidential satellite feed, Glaz and Jade Morales finally locked eyes. Well, Jade locked eyes. Glaz had no real eyes, just swirling orbs of luminescent goo. So Jade began. Arms folded. You thought doping our coffee would force us to submit. Glaz sputtered. Ah, yes. With all due respect, your species should have been kneeling at our tentacles by now. We used our galaxy's best mind control serum. Jade raised an eyebrow. Commander, humans have decades, centuries of experience building caffeine tolerance. We literally live on coffee. You're out of your league. Behind Glaz, Lieutenant Piz was scribbling frantic notes about Earth's caffeine habits. Glaz tried to salvage some pride. Still, we can always ramp up production. We won't stop until... Stop, or what? Jade cut in. We adopt your coffee doping as the new normal. If anything, you've improved our global brew. My staff tells me it's some of the best coffee they've ever had. Glaz drooped, turning a dull gray. You mean, the mind control serum is just a bonus flavor to you people? Jade shrugged. Pretty much. Now, if you'd like to collaborate instead of conquer, Earth is open to negotiations. Otherwise, we'll just keep enjoying your enhancements while you get zero in return. Realizing the futility of continuing, Glaz quietly ended Operation Java Takeover. Within days, the Orlaris Earth Coffee Alliance formed, turning a failed invasion into a lucrative interstellar partnership. Freed from the secrecy, alien baristas revealed themselves, sharing advanced brewing techniques that Earth roasters eagerly adopted. The result? Galactic coffee that fueled Earth's every creative pursuit and gave the aliens a brand new market, amassing profits that rivaled entire planetary economies. A majestic expo center on planet Orlaris now bustled with thousands of visitors from dozens of species. The first annual Intergalactic Coffee Cafe Festival boasted row upon row of booths showcasing new blends, futuristic espresso machines, and even neural cappuccinos that let drinkers experience vivid daydreams of floating through star fields. Commander Glaz, now head of Cosmic Caffeine Relations, glided through the aisles, surprisingly cheerful. His once jittery turquoise form had taken on a mellow, mocha hue after discovering decaf. Lieutenant Piz was at his side, politely handing out samples of their signature Hyperdrip Supreme. At the Earth Pavilion, Ambassador Jade Morales led a crowd in a tasting of Black Hole Brew, a concoction so strong it came with a dimensional hazard warning. Aliens tasted it with caution, many turning new colors of awe and terror. Commander Jade called, spotting Glaz. Glad to see you're finally on board with peaceful trade. How's business? Booming. Glaz beamed. Your humans pay exorbitant prices for anything labeled extraterrestrial single origin. Meanwhile, Orlaris is raking in currency from across the Milky Way. I'd say it's far more profitable than Conquest would have been. An alien drone soared overhead, filming the festivities for interplanetary broadcast. "Try our new product," Piz announced, unveiling a tri-layered iced coffee that changed color with each sip. It has a dash of serum left, purely for that bold aftertaste. A group of excited Earth visitors flocked to sample it, praising the cosmic complexity and pleasant mind. Tingle Gloss floated back, remembering how it had all started a surefire plan to enslave Earth that ended up generating a multi-billion credit industry. He chuckled to himself. "Well, we tried to take over Earth, but Earth's unstoppable coffee culture took over us." In the background, a flustered alien barista attempted to serve cappuccinos to a swirling mass of tourists from 5 planets, nearly dropping cups while trying to mimic Earth's latte art. Another table held a panel of coffee critics claiming they could taste wormhole residue in the new Orlaris roast. Nearby, Dr. Viviana Chang, who had cracked the code on the serum, chatted with interstellar scientists about ways to make coffee even more potent. Humans, it seemed, just couldn't get enough. Their unwavering obsession had turned an invasion strategy into a collaborative commodity. Amid the laughter, the clinking of cups, and the hum of espresso machines whirring in alien tongues, Gloss raised a sample cup toward Jade Morales. "The humans," he said. "The only species that can drink a mind-control compound for breakfast and still show up to work on time." Jade grinned, lifting her cup in return. "And to the Orlaris Council, our cosmic coffee partners. Next time you plan an invasion, maybe do a little more research on our drinking habits." They both laughed as the lights dimmed for the Intergalactic Coffee Awards ceremony. Over the speakers, a deep voice announced, "Ladies, gentlemen, and beings of undisclosed biology, welcome to the first annual Orlaris Earth Coffee Championship." And so, the galaxy's weirdest invasion plot wrapped up in the strangest possible way, with cappuccino foam hearts, thriving trade agreements, and an entire cosmos now united by its mutual addiction to an unassuming black liquid Earth calls coffee.